In this video we are making this beautiful shirt dress with bishop sleeves and a collar. It also has that belt, as you see, that you can tie in the middle. So you're welcome to Yvonne Winifred UG. If you've just met this channel, kindly subscribe so that you are notified when you hit that bell whenever I upload a new video. So I'm working with the legendary Ankara Okitenge fabric, the African fabric, and mine this time has this green, white and black colors, and I'm cutting both the front and the back together at once, and they are folded into two. Both are folded into two. So the downer one is the front, and it has that button overlap or the button allowance, and the one on top is the back piece. So this is the button overlap, and it is on the front only. So the back is less wider than the front. So on the top here, when it comes to this front, there is that yoke, and if you want it, please consider it, but I'm not considering it in this video. So let's continue. So you see where the back piece starts from is where we're going to start all our measurements from, the crosswise measurements from. So this here, I just consider the width that I considered is the hip measurement, the largest measurement of the dress, and adding 2 inches for ease and sewing allowance. So the length is the entire Ankara length, the fabric length. So now I have this on top here, I have a line, and it's going to be the shoulder line, and I'm taking my shoulder measurement, dividing it by 2 plus half an inch. Remember, we are starting all our measurements from where the back piece starts from. We are not considering the button overlap. So it is at 8 inches, and I'm considering 8.5. The half inch is the joining allowance. That's the shoulder measurement. Then from up there, I go down by 8.5 inches, and that is the armhole length, armhole measurement, dividing it by 2. So I mark that point here, and I have to make sure that where that point has ended, I have also the same shoulder measurement of 8.5 inches. So it is, those two lines are parallel to each other. This line is parallel to the center front or the center back. So that is what I have there. So I come again onto this line, and I get its midpoint of 4.25 inches, and then also from the top here I mark 1 inch for the shoulder slant that I'll be connecting to the neckline. So from the midpoint here, I go in by half an inch so that I can carve out the front armhole, and after, from that midpoint, I carve the back armhole. So for the front, we go in by half an inch, but for the back, it just stays the same. So after there, I have to mark out 3 inches for the neck width, and again 1 inch for the back neck depth, and 3 inches for the front neck depth. Then I just carve out accordingly for my neckline. So that is for the back, that is the first one, and then this second one is for the front. Remember, we are cutting the 2 pieces together, and both are folded into 2. So after I connect the shoulder slant, as I said before, and then I add half an inch for the shoulder joining allowance, just like that. So I go to the bust line, or where my bust is supposed to be, and I mark the bust measurement. So I just divide the bust measurement by 4 inches, and I add 2 inches. 2 inches, there is ease allowance, and there is also the sewing allowance. So this dress has no dirt, guys. It is a free dress. just has the belt that will be tied in the middle. And as we know currently, dartless dresses are so in currently, so that is what I'm considering now. So after that, I just mark my waistline at around 16 inches, and still I input my waist measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches, and I do that also to the hip. The hip line is at 25 inches. I divide my hip line by 4 inches, and then I add 2 inches for sewing and ease allowance. This is a free dress, so I added that ease allowance. So after, I just cut out everything as you see. Remember, we cut first the back markings, and then we consider the front markings later, just as you see. So now these are my pieces after all the cuttings. So since we'll be having the button overlap at the front, I just cut it into 2 pieces as you see. So my button overlap is 1.25 inches. It's the button overlap that I worked with in this video. So the back is on fold, and I have these 2 pieces for the front that will be just like that. They will be overlapping. So guys, now we have to cut the sleeve. So if I've already marked my sleeve, if you want a video, I have a video. It is how to cut a perfect basic sleeve. It is here on my channel. You can just check it out. Yvonne Winifred, how to cut perfect basic sleeve. So after all the markings, now I have to add where my elastic threads will pass through, all the elastic that I'll be considering in this video. So I don't have elastic threads as of this point, but I'm going to consider this elastic that is 1.25 inches. So after all the length, I'm adding 1.25 inches here for my elastic, and I also add 1 inch. So altogether I have 2.5 inches. Then I had 1/2 inch for folding, and altogether I have 3 inches. But since this is going to be folded, I double that, so it is going to be 6 inches altogether that will be folded and doubled onto this sleeve ending or sleeve hemline, just like this. And that is after folding it like this, I just want to perfectly cut it. But all the other addings that I've been talking about will help us achieve the bishop sleeve, you guys. But if you want that ending, the hemline, if you want some more drama, you can just add some more inches. So around here I just added about 3 inches, but you can even add more along the hemline. You can add more. I only used 3 inches for that ruffle that I want at the sleeve, but you can add more and more. So now I have to align my pieces together and show you how I'm going to be stitching. I'll be aligning the right sides facing each other, front and back pieces like this, and then I will join at the shoulder by 1/2 inch at the both ends of the shoulders. And after there, I'll just notch the midpoint of my sleeve, and then I join the sleeves onto the main piece of the dress like that. Join there by 1/2 inch that I left as the joining allowance. I also join this onto the other side just like that. So after there, I'll just join the sides, both sides. I'll join the sleeve sides together to the dress, the main piece side. Then afterwards, I'll fold 1/4 inch, and then I'll measure the 1 inch for the button overlap and stitch all the way to the hemline to get something that looks like this. So this is the dress after all that sewing that I've been talking about. sides joined together. That is the button overlap. As you see there, the sleeves are also joined onto the dress, and that is what we have so far. So let me show you. At the end of the sleeve here, I left this opening because I will be using it to pass my elastic. So as I told you before, there is that 1 inch that we have, and I separated the 1 inch and the 1.5 inches where the elastic will sit with a stitch line, so that there's a stitch line there that is separating the 2 spaces. One space is for the elastic and the other space is just for the ruffle, that ruffle end as we see in the picture of the dress. So this is where the elastic will sit, and the other first 1 inch is just free for the ruffle, but it's those 2 spaces are separated by a stitch line. So I'll just measure the exact elastic that I want. And guys, if you have an elastic that is beyond 1.25 inches, just use that. It looks very, very beautiful. But if you have your elastic threads, it's just what you should use. So after there, I just get the measurement of my neckline, go cut the collar, and this is the finished collar, guys. So I have a video coming up next of how to cut a perfect collar. Just wait for it. It is coming up immediately after this video that you are watching now. So moments later, after attaching the collar, this is the finished dress. That is the beautiful collar. Remember, I have a video coming up next immediately after this video. Within a day or two, I will have the video out already. You'll be watching it if you want to learn how to make that beautiful collar. So this is the sleeve. As I told you, my elastic is already passed into, and this is the ruffle. That is how it looks like. So if you want more drama, you have to make sure that end of the sleeve has to be a bit wider. So my elastic is passed into, and just for a small show, this is how it will be looking like. That is the elastic there. If you don't want to use elastic, you can use elastic threads, but it's not what I used. I didn't have elastic threads in this video. So for the belt, I have this black belt that I want to be used in this video, just like that. So guys, after the belt and everything, I'll just take my dress to so that the buttons are put onto this dress. The kind of buttons that I want to use, I don't have them now, but I'll just take this dress now so that the buttons are put onto the dress. And that is it, guys. Thanks for watching.